Okay, we've talked a little bit about Alan and the play. Can you sort of summarize what Walking Talking Bill Hawkins is about?
Walking Talking Bill Hawkins is about a man, a middle-aged man who's still longing and searching for his father and the identity of his father. He, as a child, does not know who his father is, and then on his graduation from college, it is revealed who his father is. And in that context, he then realizes that he has the desire to meet people who once knew his father, because his identity rests in the seed of who his father is, and to know that. And I love that Alan and many of his would ask people, do I sound like him? Do I look like him? And what a great feeling that was. Yeah.
That's great. Alan is a wonderful actor, a very nice
Absolutely.
person. The show Walking Talking Bill Hawkins, actually the opening night is tonight, which is Friday, February the 15th, I'm sorry, and it goes through March the 2nd at the African American Art and Culture Complex in San Francisco at 762 Fulton Street. So if you get a chance, go check it out. Now, in thinking about this particular play, what are you hoping the audience might get from attending a performance of Walking Talking Bill Hawkins?
Like any form of theater, I always hope that an audience that chooses to come to theater, they're coming because they are looking for a much more intimate experience, one that is very different than, say, watching television, seeing something online, watching a film, and that you're seeing an actor in a room who's going through those emotions, those feelings right there. It's not happening anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I've come to love the most about theater. And I love it if the audience can have that in their mind when they walk in, saying, this experience is happening right here, right now, nowhere else. And so that if and when something very dynamic happens that in that evening of theater, that to me is what then is a catalyst for the audience to go out and say, I experienced something, and let me tell you about it. I was at a show last night. You need to come and see this.
That's great. Now, in terms of an artist and someone like Alan, in order to have that transference, we might say, take place, is the artist's ability to be vulnerable in front of people. And Alan has that ability
Yes,
to
he does.
connect with himself. And I believe when we connect with ourselves, we connect with other people.
Absolutely.
And if you get a chance to come see the show, I'll be there probably, so let me know if you experience that. Another question I'd like to talk about is, in talking about Alan's show and knowing his piece, he was born in '52. His father was the first black DJ in Cleveland, Ohio.
correct.
And it's a journey about finding his roots. Since his father was born in the 50s and the 60s, where a lot of this takes place, how do you see this piece speaking to African Americans in particular, or people today?
I think one of the things that is still, to me, even more deeply resonant now about Alan's show and Alan's journey is, again, the quest for father. And so much of, when you look at the history of African Americans coming here, the African diaspora, how many of us were split from family and what family means, and then how that trajectory has still continued, that there are people born where their fathers now are incarcerated or they don't know who their fathers is. And I think that way the piece still speaks to a younger generation who I do really believe is looking and longing for that element of father, that father that is missing so many times, and that when we connect with our fathers deeply, it informs us in a different way than connecting with our mothers. And so in that way, I think the show is still very relevant. It has a lot of music in it, which I think is really powerful, and since the fact that he has a lot of James Brown in it, and when I think of like hip-hop culture, having sampled
roots.
and
Yeah.
bitten off of so much of James Brown's bass lines and stuff. I think any young person coming to it would come to it with the joy of hearing some real roots music that's connected. But also I think they would also identify saying, you know what, no matter how old you get, if you have a desire to connect with your family, that doesn't go away. No matter how old you get, it doesn't go away.
Great. So in terms of thinking of how it's relevant today, what effect are you thinking or hoping it may have on an audience member? What are you hoping they'll leave with?
I think what I would like an audience to leave with is really the understanding that of course life, it's a cliche, but it's also very true that life's a journey, and that one of the things that's been wonderful about this project with Alan is Alan had never heard his father's voice, but through the journey of us producing this play and continuing to work with it since 1999, a recording of Alan's father's voice was not only found but sent to him. There's still information that's coming forth, so it shows also the power of storytelling. And that I hope that an audience knows that the one thing that they have is their own voice. And the subtitle of the show is In Search of My Father's Voice. This is what African history is about, that we keep giving voice to our history. It lives through us, it informs us, and we keep moving forward. And it's important to keep our voices out there.
Great. And I'm glad you said that, because that kind of goes back to my wanting to talk about Dr. Woodson and the beginning of what we now call Black History Month. And I sort of see us as carrying on that, our stories.
Right.
Now, you've talked a little bit about what effect you think it may have on other people. With your having worked on this piece off and on for almost 10 years, what effect has it had on you as a person?
One of the main effects when Alan first brought the story to me, it had a very deep effect on me, because I also did not grow up with my biological father, and I'd see him, once a year, sometimes twice a year. He also played a role in African American history in that he was an all-star football player and was the first black man to play football in Austin, Texas, at their Soldier Stadium there. And I have newspaper articles on him. And so it definitely brought back to me that, again, the power of storytelling, and also the power of storytelling as a healing force between families, between individuals. And so I think it's had a healing force.
That's great. We have 1 minute left. If someone were to ask you, why should I go see this play? How would you respond to that question?
I would respond very simply in that I think it is a beautiful story. I think it is a unique story, and Alan is a wonderful performer, and it's an opportunity to witness someone on a journey that continues to be on a journey, and have that live experience. And there's been so many folks that have come up to Alan after the show and said, thank you for telling this story, because I have a similar story. I didn't know my father, or I'm adopted, and so that's why I think it's a shared experience. It's a shared experience.
Thank you very much, Ellen. It's
Thank
been
you, Thomas.
wonderful spending this time here with you and with our audience also. If you have comments, please email them to me, thomas@afrosolo.org. If you get a chance, come and see the show. AfroSoloTV will be here the first and third Fridays at 6:30 every month, so please do come and check us out. The show Walkin' Talkin' Bill Hawkins in Search of My Father takes place at the African American Art and Culture Complex, 762 Fulton Street. If you get a chance, please check it out. Check us out at www.afrosolo.org. Good night.
Wow, Thomas, good job.
You did a beautiful job.
No, but I mean, you aced it. Fantastic.
Wow.
Well, and we
That's
better
great.
get over there, huh?
I should have called her. Someone might be coming to pick me up.
Okay.